Alright guys, welcome to the Old Glory Red Report. And in today's video we have our first match preview of the Republic FC's 2019 season. In today's video we'll definitely discuss our opponent, Real Monarchs. We'll also talk about the new kits, we'll talk about tailgating, and other topics. And we'll do that right after this. Welcome back to the Old Glory Red Report, a supporters channel by the supporters, for the supporters.
Oh, that's such a far reach.
We have the usual cast of characters plus a special guest, Casey J, Mark Anthony.
I am the special guest, thank
He
you.
is the one. We don't normally see this guy.
No,
No.
you don't see me very
appearance
often
for
in
him.
these
Not that
videos.
special.
Oh, wow. We're off to a great start this year, guys.
Yeah, we got John, of course, and our special guest. You've probably seen him at the games before. He's usually leading the TBB. Alex Tasker, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Mark. Thanks for having me today.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, of course. Couldn't miss it. First one of the year. Come on.
Also, thanks for wearing the same sweatshirt as John.
You know, they didn't tell me to color coordinate, but I had a feeling in my gut that somebody would, so.
We're wearing the same jeans, too.
Same jeans. Yeah, I actually got them from his closet. Yeah. So,
It was pretty much a full ensemble all the way down to the black and white shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
spent-
doing good with the color
We spent more
coordination.
time planning this than anything we've done all year.
Yeah, we're just going to ramble for about like an hour and a half, but
Gotta fill that time.
you got to fill. So, how
right,
about
guys.
soccer?
So,
Oh, you want to talk about soccer on
Oh,
this
that's
too?
why we're here?
Okay.
Oh, never mind.
we have our first game this Saturday, Papa Murphy's Park. You know where it is. Man, I'm excited about it this season. I mean, I'm always excited about the start of the season, but this season feels a little bit different, in my opinion. I don't
Absolutely.
know. Casey, what do you think, man?
Well, like we talked about, with the tailgate ramping up to this, with the the well coming in and adding some money, this season does have that little bit of spice, that little bit of kick to the start. I think Real Monarchs are going to be a hard team to start out with. They haven't lost a game on the home opener yet, home or away. So that's a statistic that's going against us. They have been a pretty strong team the last couple seasons, so that worries me. But the tailgating and all the festivities beforehand, that's going to be a good time.
And I'm really looking forward to it. There's been, not only with the tailgate, not only with, I'm really excited about the new pitch. We've really needed one.
Yeah, we do.
We've also had the hype around Burkle, but there just seems to be something in these transfers that we've had this year. Like, I don't know what it is, but I think, more experience, more skill, more quality than we've seen in previous years. And I'm really excited about that, especially to see some of these guys we've not seen play yet. I expect we'll see a lot of them in the starting lineup too.
I think you hit the nail on the head. One transfer I'm really excited about seeing is Stefano Bonamo.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what he can bring.
Fast.
That.
Oh, gotcha there.
You know what I meant.
Stefano Bonamo. Nah, I've already finished the beer. That's not happening. I'm excited to see what he brings to the pitch. I'd like to see him, see how he relates with Cameron Awasa up front as far as attacking. And then getting Tyler Blackwood back, I think, is a huge addition back for us. He did really well with Swope Park last year. I think it's going to be great to have him back. He just brings that added level of pace along the wing that I think we kind of lacked the last couple of years.
Yeah.
We retained a lot of really key guys, like seeing Elliot Horde staying with us. Josh Cohen's been our MVP at the back last year. Kept us in way too many games. So if we could take some of the pressure off of him there, getting Harris, I think is a great way to replace the Emer Clementa loss. I think the squad this year, given Elliott a full offseason to work with Donovan to bring in all the players in, I think is going to be huge for us this year.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, man. You nailed a few things there, too. Not just the excitement, but, talking about the roster additions, but you touched on the key part that we've talked about before. We basically kept the spine of the team, I feel like. Even a guy like Tainer, he was new last year, but I still feel like he was a key contributor and somebody that was important to keep, right?
Absolutely.
Cohen, Awasa, what else can you say, right?
Right.
But other than that, man, this season feels a little bit different with those key returning players, but with some solid additions that I think we're all excited about.
One big issue we had last season was our goals per game was like down to like 1.3 or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is, not very good return. Having Bonomo come back, having Blackwood come back, adding some width out there, getting the balls in. Bonomo's a bigger guy. He's a strong kind of center forward.
Almost an Adam John-esque kind of a target for a cross.
We didn't have that last season. Iwasa did his best in that position. Bijev did a little bit in that position every once in a while, trying to do the hold up. I think with him coming in, we'll get that goal average up, probably into the 2-goal range, hopefully, and that'll be a key for us pushing forward this season.
One of the things I'm really excited too is I felt a lot last season, the only person we really had up top, and this isn't completely correct, but I felt like we only had Cameron Iwasa up front. I felt that in a lot of games. He was the only guy who was up front who was making attacks. And he's also not a incredibly fast player. He's big, he can make runs, but he's not quick, he's not speedy. And I think adding Tyler Blackwood maybe Tyler Blackwood won't start, but he's a tool that we have that we can either complement Iwasa with some extra speed or replace him with some extra speed. It's something that I think that we could really, really use.
Yeah, adding Bonomo, let's be honest, Isley didn't really work out last year.
No.
I thought he would do better than he did.
He had a lot of promise. He showed up big in a couple games, but throughout the whole season, there weren't too many times where he really stepped up. And, you can't just rely on Iwasa to score all your goals. And, you pointed it out. We didn't score very many goals. Fortunately, we're usually one of the best defending teams every year. We don't give up a lot of goals. But we were drawing games because we couldn't get that second goal, that third goal.
1-0s were the score line to have last season.
And a lot of times 1 goal equals 2 extra points, and that makes a big difference at the end of the season.
Well, we also blew a lot of opportunities. If you go back to the game that Real Monarchs played at our stadium last year, the game ended 0-0 because Iwasa put 1 off the crossbar. He put 2 off the post. He missed the penalty. We missed open opportunities, ones where we should be able to convert there. I think the key isn't necessarily getting more attackers, it's getting guys who are better at converting the open opportunities here. The other thing I was thinking if we can stay off the injury sheet, that's obvious for any sport, any team, but Moffitt went down last year and he was gone for most of the year. We had a couple guys on the defense go down. Like you mentioned, our defense has been pretty stout.
They've added a couple good backups,
Beer pun, stout. But if our defense can stay rock solid, we know what Cohen brings to the table. We've seen him bail us out of a couple of games last year. We'll see what happens. I'm definitely excited to see what our defense brings, probably more than our offense, because I know Elliott's going to get that team working towards more goals. But I'm excited to see if our defense plays a little bit higher up, more as an offside trap, or if we'll drop back a little bit more.
You brought up playing real Monarchs last year. Now, they're not the team they were last year. They did lose quite a few players. Some players did move up to the full first squad at MLS. So there's a new coach in. He did manage, was an assistant over at Byron for a while. He did manage Chivas for a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that's going to change it up there. They've had a good program there, and they do feed the top club a lot. And I think they'll continue doing that, so I don't know how much the manager will get, but you think bringing a manager with that experience, how do you think that's going to affect the Monarchs?
I'm not sure what to expect for them. What I do know is that they don't have Chandler Hoffman any longer. That guy was not only a thorn in the side of the Republic, but he was a big-time player in the Western Conference. 28 goals in 65 appearances for Monarchs. That's an incredible goal-scoring streak. It's hard to replace that. So they weren't a team that scored a ton of goals regardless. That was with him. I'm not sure, but what I do know is that they are always one of the more organized teams in the league. You talked about how it was 0-0 last year. They're hard to break down. They don't give up a lot of goals, just like we don't give up a lot of goals. So it might be a low-scoring game.
The ones they're bringing in Kyle Coffey and Sam Brown, a midfielder and a forward that have practiced with the first team. They played together in college. They have a sense of connection on the pitch. They've played with each other before. It'll be interesting to see if our defense and our defensive midfield can limit the chances that those two get if they do make the starting 11.
And on a completely different note, I want to say I think this is the perfect game to start the season off with. We've got these two teams who are always really consistent, really organized, really good teams. I think this is a prime start for us. You mentioned they've added players with very similar backgrounds. We have a lot of the same thing with our players too. We've got a lot of players who've gone to the same universities, played on the same teams for a number of years. So it's two teams who it seem to have a very similar belief behind team building, and I think that's going to make for a great opening day match.
And even if you take away from both of the players, or both sides with the players, it's opening night. You want to put your best foot forward. It's the first real game. These games are with points now. And, like you've seen in the standings, it could be 1 point, 2 point difference from playoffs, which USL Championship now has a new playoff
Let's not even.
We'll get to that later in the season.
That's a different podcast.
1-2 points could get you in or out of the playoffs. So you want to get off on the right foot. You want to start building your momentum for that long summer stretch, especially if you play at Papa Murphy's Park, where it's a tough place to play at. When you get into the summer months, it's going to be sweltering. The bugs are going to be flying. So you're going to want to get this one.
The bugs will be flying.
They will be flying. It's
need a
almost
tifo
like
for
Starship
that.
Troopers out there. It's that bad.
Yeah, you talk about momentum, and that's something key for me coming into this match. Is the Republic came in off of a very strong preseason with wins, goals, goals, goals. It hasn't been the same story for the real Monarchs. They lost to Reno. They lost to Portland. I think they did beat Phoenix, though. So it's kind of been an iffy start. Does the mentality that they have coming in, is Republic maybe a little bit more conformed and together with that mentality building in? Do you think that affects Real Salt Lake?
I was going to say, I don't think preseason is going to have any impact on morale or impact how we're playing. We've had some really fantastic preseasons to not necessarily start well.
Yeah.
And maybe the losses in preseason are going to drive the Monarchs. Who knows? But, and I'll compare to football here too real quick. Preseason, especially in football, you start your players you're not going to generally start. You also see who
You're
works
playing
with
your
your
trial
system.
list. Yeah.
And, I'm a Chargers fan, and the Chargers normally
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
They've historically
You
not
made the
been
joke
great,
before I could.
but they've been usually fantastic in the preseason. So I don't think preseason has anything to do with it. I think it's a good tool to learn your system, a good tool to experiment with your system, and a good tool to see who's going to fit within your system.
Piggybacking off what you say, it could be easy for Republic to get complacent. You brought up all the wins we've had, and we've looked very good in these games. It could be easy for those guys to fall into we know what we're bringing to the table. This is just another game. They could get lazy, let an easy one in early, and then not be able to break down Real Monarchs defense, and it could be a bad result. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen, but it's definitely something that could happen. More the psychology of the game, if you just get complacent out there. You can't approach this game, as with any game, that it's a given. You have to go out there, play a hard 90 minutes, get the advantage on your opponent.
Let's jump over and do some starting 11s real quick. This will be the starting 11s that we'll think. This is way too early predictions. I'm sure everyone can agree on. We don't have a whole lot to go off of on these, but it'll be interesting. If you want to put your starting 11 in the comments below, if you're watching on the YouTube, you can go ahead and put the comment below. We'd appreciate that. If you're listening to the podcast, head over to the Facebook, the Twitter. At Facebook, it's Old Glory Red Report. At Twitter, it's Old Glory Red. Check us out. Put a comment over there. We'll start with John. Why don't you go ahead and give us your starting 11?
I've had a real hard time with the starting 11.
You're the football manager guy here, man.
I know I'm
You
a
need to
football
tell
manager.
Check out
but
those
I didn't
videos.
start
on
the
the
same
spot,
guys
man.
in football manager. And I don't know that I necessarily have the same ideology that our manager has. I've had a real hard time. I probably can't go for back four. I'd like to see Tainter, I'd like to see Hortal, I'd like to see Cohen back there. But, honestly, on this one, I'm going to have to defer. We've got so many new signings, so many new guys. I just want to see them in action before I can actually make that judgment. And that's it. I think it's hard for me to make my own professional prediction on that. Up top, I'd like to see Cameron Iwasa, and I'd like to see Blackwood.
Blackwood?
But, and maybe they're not the two best according to the coach. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
because
there's a lot
because of the changes and the overhauls we've seen. I'm not going to make a prediction because I think it's very flexible right now.
Definitely. That's why I said these are way too early to predict predictions. We didn't get to see a lot of them in the preseason because the games were not something we could see. So definitely understand where you're coming from on that. Do you want to jump over and go to yours, Mark?
Yeah, I think I will nail the starting 11. I will get all 11 correct. So I will be the opposite.
He's so humble.
And then he'll take over Football Manager too.
I want a full suit next Football Manager. I want the full suit on the
suit,
sideline. Yeah.
I
The
got
hair done up.
So I got Josh Cohen, obviously starting. I mean, I think we can all agree on that one.
I have
we
Diaz.
I think we will all agree that Awasa will be our starting striker. I see us playing in a 4-2-3-1 formation. The back four, I got Gomez, Tainer, Elliott Horde, and Harris making his first start with the Republic. I also have in the middle Sari and Skundridge.
Skundridge. Okay.
And then the three across in the 4-2-3-1, I got Bijev, Partain, and Tyler Blackwood, and then your boy Cameron Awasa starting up top.
Is your boy's official nickname or going to be its goal
Hashtag
scorer for
your
Sac
boy.
Republic
Your
number
boy,
31,
because
Cameron?
anybody who's watching, it's definitely
Your
their
boy.
so.
It's their boy.
Last season taught us anything. It definitely is.
It's everyone's boy, man. Like, come on.
Can the USL be like the XFL and can we just put your boy
that'd
on the
be
back
great.
of
That
his
would be
kit?
awesome.
I'll get that
That
one.
would
but
psych
The
the league
Las
up.
Vegas Lights have already got that covered.
I'm
Yeah,
sure they
right.
do. Vince McMahon out there announcing their starting 11.
All right, Task, we'll jump over to you for your starting 11.
So I have a 4-1-3-2. I have Shannon Gomez, Harris, Tainer, and Matt Mahoney making a start for Republic's back four. Elliott Horde as a solo CDM. I have Blackwood, Bijev, and Partain as the three as the midfielders, with Blackwood and Partain providing pace along the outside wing, and Awasa and Bonomo up front, Bonomo being the poacher, Awasa being the sniper from outside of the box. And that's going to win us the game 18-0. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
That's my starting
Do you
11.
have some insider info? Elliott Horde playing in the middle.
What are you talking about? No.
Elliott Horde in the middle.
I wouldn't hate to see that. I can't say
I
I
just
would
found
hate
it-
Honestly, I'd prefer Elliott Horde in the midfielder role.
I have no idea what to expect.
He's been
we
so
haven't seen
versatile over. We've seen him play the mid. We've seen him play in defense. He's really in every man's.
He also scored probably our best goal of the season last year.
that
rocket.
was
Yeah,
that was a banger
cracker.
against Tulsa.
It was our best.
If
goal
there
of the
was
season.
no
We
net
voted.
there, that ball would still be flying.
Can we talk about his celebration? He just turned around and started running back to the midfield. Elliot, if you're watching this, let me train you. I will teach you the Fortnite dances. I will teach you
No.
some sort of
That's
celebration.
I want to
Please.
see him do Roberto Hottigun's celebration. The fish flop. Yeah.
You know,
I
Elliott
wanna see
Horde
that,
scored
Elliott
like
Horde.
he had been there before, you know?
Oh,
That was like,
but come on, it was a
And
huge
Elliott
goal for
played
us.
in
he
Fortnite,
could
so
have
he
given a
should
little,
know
like,
all the
you know,
celebrations. He should know all the
He
celebrations.
needs to.
maybe the calm down celebration since it was on the road. Yeah.
Let's get
All
a
right.
little.
All right. Anyways.
All right, so
topic.
we'll go on to my starting 11. I chose Cohen in the back because I think everyone did. I'm very similar to Mark with Gomez, Harris, Tainter, and Horde across the back line. I'm also playing in a 4-2-3-1 similar to Mark. Sari and Partain would be in my center defense. My three across would be Blackwood, Iwasa, and Bijev because they would really dominate the midfield. That's a couple guys that I think can interchange play too. You could have Iwasa move to the out. You can have, Bijev move. And at Swope Park, Blackwood did come in and play a little center forward. So you could see him do that maybe. Bijev is also able to do that. So I think there's a lot of movement available in that front three. And then Bonomo up top, the big body, doing some hold-up play for us, getting on the crosses coming in. I think that would be a strong starting 11. John brought up some great points. The coach can go many different ways. We don't know how well Skundridge did in the preseason. Declan is also there. We don't know how well he did in the preseason. So maybe they get the nods over a couple of these other guys. Not too sure. Again, if you want to put your starting 11 down in the comments, we'd love to see them. Let us know.
And one point real quick.
Sure.
I feel like none of you, granted, I don't have room to say this because I didn't create create a starting 11, so I don't know that I have room to say this. But each one of you, and I was shocked, did not include Declan in your starting 11, which I feel he was brought on to replace our leadership that we lost when Moffat retired, and we lost Hall. Which, both of those guys are experienced guys. Declan's had a lot of experience. He's an older guy, can mentor a lot of the guys that we have. I think he might be our captain. That's just my thoughts.
I put Sari in that position. For me, in my lineup, Sari would be the leader.
So I just want to mention that signing that we had. And, obviously, like I said earlier, we've got a lot of good signings, so it's really hard for me to get my starting 11. But I think he needs to be...
Was Jeremy Hall our captain?
He was.
He was.
So now we will have a new captain.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So do you think it'll be someone like that, or do you think it'll be somebody like a Wassa or a Cohen?
I think it'll be someone like Declan.
I gotta agree. I think it'd be someone like Owasa. Owasa's been with the club for many years. Granted, he had that season away, but as he's maturing with the club,
captain, right?
I'd say he's the emotional leader of the team right now. I'd say he's our captain right now, but then again, I can see somebody more in the midfield being our captain as well.
I think Cohen is a softer voice, so I don't see him necessarily.
That's what I was just going to say.
But we'll see on Saturday. But I would be shocked if Wassa doesn't have that captain band on.
Wassa's a great player. I just don't see him being the leader. I don't see him being the voice. I think someone like you said, or Sari comes in with experience. There's a few other players that we brought in.
You think it might be a new addition?
Yeah, I don't see maybe even Cohen leading from the back, just because he
what
does
about
have
a guy
that
like
experience.
Tainer?
Maybe
He's a big-time vocal guy.
I think he's a little bit of a hothead, though.
Yeah, I don't see Tainer. I just don't see Tainer a little bit.
He's fiery, but he never really got himself in. I mean, he got a red card last year for a tackle that was, kind of a no man's land, but he seems to keep it cool enough where he doesn't hurt his team, right?
I mean, he didn't have too many bad challenges last season. He didn't get ridiculous red cards or anything like that. So, with that being said, he's not, completely.
Sergio Ramos is the captain of Real Madrid, by the way.
There you go.
He is not someone who hasn't seen a red card once or twice, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. All right, guys, and with that segue, let's go ahead and jump into, in the Western Conference, we're going to have some top players, our top teams coming this year. Let's jump into our top 4 and the points we think they're going to finish on. Tasker, we'll go ahead and start with you. Why don't you give us your top 4 and reasons why, just real quick.
So I didn't put points because anything can change throughout the season. It's just so tough to gauge season to season for me. In no particular order, I have Phoenix, Sacramento, San Antonio, and Swope Park.
Swope Park?
I think Phoenix is a team that's been consistently building their team up. And this might be the season that they just go for broke. They had a really good squad last year. They just came up a little bit short in the playoffs. San Antonio's another one they've always seemed to give us trouble, give teams in the West trouble. I could see them making a run for the top 4 in the Western Conference. Swope Park's a little bit trickier just because they're technically a feeder team into an MLS club. But they've always been pretty consistent, and the Kansas City ownership group really kind of cares both about their MLS and their lower division team. Now, where the lower division team plays at, not necessarily big on their priorities, but I can see them sneaking into the top 4. I could also see a team like Orange County maybe sneaking their way in, but right now I have Phoenix, Sacramento, San Antonio, and Swope Park, top 4.
Swope Park. All right, John, we'll jump over to you.
All right, so I didn't assign points either. That was really hard for me to do.
So you didn't do the homework. I didn't do the homework.
I'm going to keep my points to my damn self because I just didn't do the assignment.
I did the homework. I just couldn't decide, just like my starting 11.
Sure, John, sure.
Points are really hard. Okay?
Okay.
Stop judging me, people.
I will not.
2019. Stop judging on points.
So my top is going to be Phoenix Rising FC. I think they're going to get number 1. They are looking for an MLS spot.
I know. Who invited
They're
this
going
guy?
to put that money into it. They're going to put money into the players.
I know, right?
And they're going to, I think they're going to take the number 1 seed. I think
they're going to be a good team this year.
Following closely after that, I've got us. I think we'll be a top 2 seed. I would love it if we got number 1 seed. I do honestly think that'll go to Phoenix Rising.
I think he's just copying my so far.
Next, I've got actually Reno 1868.
So thanks for tuning in.
And that is the end of this.
He will not be showing up anymore. If somebody wants to fill in for the football manager show, we have an opening.
I hate Reno.
Oh yeah, good save.
Stop making me cough.
I'm sick too, Cowboy. Let's not. Anyways.
But they've always fielded a very strong team who scores a lot of goals. I have them coming in at 3rd. I've also got the Real Monarchs. I think they'll come in at 4th. And then we've got some honorable mentions to Orange County SC, and I honestly think the LA Galaxy too. Those are my top 6 actually.
I laugh, but Reno will make the playoffs this time. They'll be in the top 6 for sure. They are going to be a good team. We laugh, but I think they'll be a good team this season, and it'll be a good challenge when we go up to face them this season.
You heard it here first. Casey likes Reno.
I agree. I think Reno will most likely be a playoff team. However,
Everyone
they're not
agrees.
going to be in
great.
my top 4.
I'm the jerk.
My top 4, I have Sacramento and Phoenix are probably going to be 1 and 2. Not sure how it'll shake out, but I think that's where I expect. My 3 and 4, Orange County, I think will still be a really good team. I have them in my top 4, and Oklahoma City Energy FC will be
OKC.
a top 4 team.
And now does that have to do with
I'm just throwing it out there. They're going to be the surprise in the top 4. I think the other 3 were there last year. We kind of figured those 3 are going to be good teams. But I think there's going to be a new addition. I think Monarchs fall out. OKC Energy is the team that kind of surprises
Team that just missed out last year gets into the top 4. Wow.
So what do you guys think about like Las Vegas or the Locomotive or?
Well,
No chance.
I think Las Vegas will start out strong like they did last season, but I just don't think it'll last there.
Hey, new manager Eric Wynalda knows how to get it done.
It's hype. I don't know. Yeah.
I think in addition to OKC, I think St. Louis will be a tough team. I do like Reno to make the playoffs as well. I think that's pretty much, like 6 or 7 teams
And St. Louis is in the East now.
I was going to say, I thought they were in the East now.
That is
They
my
are.
apology.
They waffle more than IHOP does. So let's,
I think St. Louis would be a good team, though. Even though they're in the East, we should probably see them near the top over there.
Yeah, they're a solid team, and they're going to want to put a quality team on the pitch, considering MLS's expansion battle.
Well, and they usually field a pretty decent team. They got a pretty decent following. I think they'll do very well still.
Yeah.
For me, I have Sacramento top in the Western Conference this season. Not by much, by only a couple points over Phoenix. I do agree with everybody else.
Well, where
Phoenix
are the
is
points,
a strong
Casey?
team.
You said you
No,
had
no,
the
no.
points.
I'm keeping my points to myself. No one else
He
did
just
that
wrote.
hard.
He just wrote 69 4 times as
It was
the point.
just-
That's all it was.
It was just 69 down the board, yeah.
69. Nice.
Coming down to goal differential is what you're saying.
It's gonna be a penalty shootout at the end for goal
4
difference.
teams on the field. 2 on each end of the field. PKs.
I think
Just a wall of death. Just.
I think we will top out Phoenix. I think we've added the firepower up front we needed. I think we added the defense we needed. Phoenix did hold a lot of good players. They lost Drogba, but they have a lot of good players over there. I think they'll be a strong team. They'll keep us honest the whole fucking time. For me, after that comes down to San Antonio and Orange County. I think they'll be interchangeable in the 3 and 4 spot. They're both teams that did well last season. I think San Antonio underperformed. They can do better. They did retain some players that are very good. They added some good players too. They'll be a very strong season, have a very strong season. And Orange County, at least 4th for me. They're a strong team. They held on to some good players. They have a good management staff over there. It'll be a good season for them as well.
Yeah. I like San Antonio to bounce back. Plus, they got a really nice stadium. I think they're a team that should be a playoff team because they are a standalone club, and a lot of fans go to their games. I do watch a lot of their games on ESPN Plus, and they have a lot of support. I think they're a good club for the USL.
Since my top 4 was not controversial, I'll throw in, I think New Mexico makes the playoff. And I think they don't even get into that dumb wild card 9-10 spot playoff. I think they make it cleanly in 8th
Like a solid 8.
I think they make it solid 8-7.
Okay.
That'll be my out there prediction. I think New Mexico makes it to the playoffs in their inaugural season.
All right.
And what are you thinking about Reno? Is Reno gonna?
Reno makes it. Reno is 5th, 6th. They make it cleanly. They're not going to have to worry about it. They have a pretty decent team. They'll be a strong one.
We know that you're a Reno sympathizer, but I was just asking where you thought they
He's
were.
not DJ. Come on.
No.
No, I have to agree. I think Reno has always fielded a strong team. When we play them, it's must see. Must see. It should be game of the week every time we play on ESPN Plus.
Yeah, and my biggest thing is if you remember last year, we went up 2-0, and within the space of 10 minutes, they came back.
Less.
And
It was
beat us
5.
3. Was it
It
5?
was 5 minutes.
Pretty incredible.
I brought a coworker.
Incredible is the word for it, I guess.
I wouldn't go with incredible. I'd
I
go.
mean, that was an incredible
Disappointment.
turn of events.
Yes.
not incredible in a good way. Just
That was.
I still don't understand.
That was interesting. I think Reno's going to be. I'll put him top 6. I don't have him in my top 4, but they'll either be like 5 or 6 seed.
Yeah, I don't think
At the
they're
end of the
that
season.
Plus, away, Reno, June 29th, again. I'm celebrating my birthday party. and
Oh,
everybody's
no.
invited.
Join
Oh,
us.
no.
We will be staying the night up there. We will be partying all night long.
I will see you
I'm
guys
too
at
old
the
to
craft
party all night
table.
long.
We'll put
Too
an
old.
event
Nap
together.
time for John.
We'll put an event together for that, kind of get an idea of what we're doing, let everyone know, so that you guys can come in and join with that.
We'll get a
celebrate with us
GoFundMe
in
started
March.
to make sure John stays up all night. Purchase will get Red Bulls.
Just
and-
Red Bulls all night.
Just ripping them.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
Red Bull vodkas all night for John.
All right, so on a lighter note to end tonight's podcast, we did release our jerseys. We got a new home jersey, not an away jersey, which is kind of a weird thing for me. The sash and then the hoops, it's kind of weird. But we'll start over with John. John, what do you think of the new jersey?
I think the new jersey looks good. I would have preferred to see a sash on the white jersey like we used to have, with the white jersey with the old glory red sash. I would have preferred that. I think the new jersey looks good. I don't think it's a huge change from what we've had with the old glory red. So I'm not as hyped about it as some other people are, but I know people love the sash, and I just prefer it's on the white.
Mark, your
Yeah,
thoughts?
I think most people are happy with it. A lot of Republic fans from the beginning have been calling for the sash to make a comeback. The
Twitter
sash
every day.
is back. It's a little more subtle this time, but I think it's a nice little ode to the past. And hey, man, I think it's exactly the sign that we need to make another championship run.
Ooh, I don't think that is. It doesn't matter what's on the jersey as long as the results are on the pitch.
What about
I'm happy
Las
with that.
Vegas?
Las Vegas.
You gotta have the smiley face on the bottom, otherwise I'm not.
They should put a quail on the underside of our kit. I like the sash coming back. Obviously, being a day one season ticket holder, I love it. I would have liked to seen the sash be a little bit more distinct color. I would have seen the black come back, or like on the white jersey as well. But I'm just happy, the season's right around the corner. The jersey's out, like the excitement's there around the city. And it's an exciting time for Sacramento sports. The Kings are playing a lot better. Republic looks like they're poised to make a really good run at it this year. So I'm hoping PMP is just going to be like how it was season 1, just packed out all the time. I know TBB is going to be having fun.
Should be a good season. I like the sash. I'm glad it's back. I like the original sash. I wasn't a big fan of last season jerseys. The stars on the arms and all that. Just wasn't a huge fan of it. This, to me, looks a lot better. I am confused to why we have a sash on one and hoops on the other. That's a little odd to me. But I just bought the away hoop jersey, so let's keep it for another season. It stays good. I'm good with that. I'm excited for this season. I think, no matter what jersey, like you said, we wear, it's going to be a good season for us. Let's wrap this up with the final thought. We'll start with our guest, about anything we talked about tonight. Just your final thoughts.
Final score on Saturday, Republic 2, Real Monarchs 2. I think it's going to be exciting at both ends. You just sympathize with Reno. Calm down. No, I think it could be 2-2. I think 2 goals go in for each team, just to keep the as with how it's been for like last season's game at Papa Murphy's Park.
It's always a good game between these teams.
They play well. The 2 match up well. Thank you guys for having me on the show this week. I hope I can help out more now that I'm not super crazy busy anymore. But
You're always welcome to come out with us.
Thank you so much. Follow my band.
P.S. Lookdown.
P.S Lookdown. We're recording music.
Shameless
Twitter.
plug.
Shameless plug. I don't care. I'm a businessman. Thanks, guys.
Can I do a shameless plug?
There'll be a link.
No, nobody wants to listen
There'll
to
be a
Norwich.
link in the description below if you guys want to check out their music. Go to that description. Go to that link. You'll see it.
Debut
Check it
album's coming out soon called Maiden Voyage.
So, Alex set Alex Thatcher set the tone here. Let's go ahead and get your score prediction as well as your last thought.
That's a tough one. I think with our energy, our new signings, I think we would go up 2-1. I think Cameron Iwasa scores his first goal, and I think we ultimately end up winning it. I think there's going to be a lot of really good energy. There's just something about this season that I've not felt in a couple years. I'm very excited. I get the feeling a lot of other people are very excited, and I think we see that on the pitch. I think our guys perform well. I think we win 2-1, and dang, I'm excited.
Very good start of the season.
Yeah, I actually have us winning this game 2-0. We will win this game, and not only that, the Sash is back. We will win the USL Championship this year.
Hot take, everybody.
Hot take. Take it.
I actually have an agreement with the TVB. If Republic pulls out the win, I said this, if they win the title, I have to get a unicorn tattooed on my body somewhere.
Anywhere?
I get to choose and the size, but it will be done. It'll be an Old Glory Red unicorn.
So a full back unicorn.
I have that one saved for Bruce Bochy's full body one after he retires. But no, I'll get a unicorn. Probably somewhere next to my TVB tattoo if we win the title this year.
I mean, I know it's bold, but I really do think that this is the strongest we have looked on paper going into a season since the inaugural season. I say that with full confidence. I will be supremely disappointed if we don't have a great season. Obviously, in the playoffs, it's a one and done. You can have a bad game, you're out. You can lose in penalties, you're out.
Yeah.
It's just a one-off, right? But I do feel confident enough that this team will make a deep run this year. And hopefully luck will be in our favor, and we will win our second USL championship.
I would just like to host the championship game no matter what.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I myself am with Mark on the 2-0. I feel like our defense is strong this season. I feel like in preseason they showed that they can keep the clean sheets. With Cohen in goal, I have no doubt we're going to see this clean sheet and many more this season. It's a strong defensive lineup, a strong keeper in goal. I think we're going to be a defensive powerhouse, so 2-0 for me on that. My final thought is I think it is going to be a great season. Come out to the tailgates, enjoy, sign up for TVB. They have a great package. There'll be a link in the description to the TVB as well. Go over there, get your membership. It's very cheap. It's like $25?
$20 this year. You get the pin, you get the scarf as always, and Kristen designed a killer scarf this year. It looks amazing. I can't wait to get mine. A couple other great things, but you get access to the away day trips that we all do. You get access to our paint night. You get to help out with our TIFOs, which is actually going on right now. I might get over there and
you got any sneak peek for us on the TIFO?
That would break tradition. I can't help you out with that one. You're just going to have to get out there Saturday and see it.
Oh, I'll be out there.
That sounds good. You're going to have to go stand on the other side of the field to see it. You have to get underneath it.
I wait until they show it on the camera. So
and then you just sprint over to the section. There you go.
The Old Glory Red Report will be out at the tailgates. We have our own spot as well as the TVB, so get out there and check us out. If you want to get your opinion heard, come out and talk with me and Mark. We'll be doing some interviews before the game. We're doing some live on Facebook. We'll be trying to get you guys' voice out there as much as we can before the game. As soon as we get any information on lineups, we'll also have that out. So definitely come out and join us, have a talk. Any of us out here would be happy to hear from you guys. Thanks again to Fort Rock for having us out. We're shooting live at Fort Rock on all these podcasts on the State of the Republic. We've had some great beers from them tonight. A great time being out here, so you're always welcome to come check us out here as well. You can check us out on Facebook at Old Glory Red, Instagram at Old Glory Red. Facebook is the Old Glory Red Report. We are on YouTube, of course, if you're watching us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, big old thumbs up is great. We appreciate it. Anyone else have anything to say before we end?
Share, invite your friends. Invite your friends to our page, to our YouTube channel. We want to reach as many Republic fans as possible. There's going to be some exciting news regarding MLS upcoming later on this year. Even people who aren't necessarily the biggest Republic FC fans, they're probably interested in maybe having another professional first division team in this city, this great city of Sacramento. So invite those people to our page. We want to reach them, and we are going to have a lot of fun this year. Exactly what Casey said. Doing tailgating. We're going to be doing live videos. We'll talk to you, get your opinions, find out what you're drinking, what other stuff you like, what other teams you root for, and all that good stuff.
Get involved. This is the best time to get involved with the team.
Absolutely.
Get involved.
Thank you for watching this video. Again, thanks to Fort Rock for having us. There'll be a video popping up over here somewhere right now. It'll be John playing some Football Manager, so check that out. There'll be a video that YouTube thinks you'll really enjoy over here. Subscribe in the middle down here. If you're not already subscribed, tell a friend to subscribe. We'd appreciate that. Until next time, Alex Tasker, Mark Anthony, Jonathan Glatz, I'm Casey J. Thanks for listening. We're the Old Glory Red Report, and until next time.